Welcome back to thevirtualinstructor.com. This is a video tutorial on Adobe Illustrator CS4, and in this program today we're going to be discussing how to turn a photograph into a vector style illustration. So I've went ahead and brought in my JPEG image, and I have made my artboard match the JPEG image. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make layer 1 a template layer. So I'll double click on layer 1 and this little option pops up. I'd like to click that button that says template, and you'll see some of the options fade out. Dim images comes up. You can change that value if you want, but 50% is pretty good. So I'll click OK, and you can see my JPEG image has been dimmed, and now I can no longer write on it. So in order to make some imagery on top of this, what I'm going to do is go over here to my layers, and I'm going to click and create a new layer. Then I'm going to go over to my tools, and I'm going to select the pen tool. Okay. Now the attributes of the pen tool are pretty important. I want to make sure right now, so I don't get confused, that my fill color is nothing and my stroke color can stay as black. So then I'm going to go over to the hand. I'm going to do this hand first. I'll click and make an anchor point, and then I'll click on another anchor point, and I'll just kind of pull that value out. Now what I like to do is I click back in the middle point to create a new anchor and then pull. If you don't do that, you could create some wacky lines, which sometimes some wacky lines are good, but in this case I don't want any wacky lines. So I'm going to zoom in just a little bit so you can see what I'm doing a little bit better. Then I'll click right there for the fingernail. Now I'm going to go ahead and continue all the way around the finger, and this is going to take me a few minutes, so I'm going to pause the video and I'll be back with you in just a second. Alright, just like that, I've made it around. I'm about to close my path, so I've outlined the whole hand. Now I'm going to come back, and you can see when I put my cursor close to that, at least I hope you can see it, the little circle comes up. That means I'm closing my path and completing a whole path around there. Now I don't want the outline to be black, so to change that I'm going to go over here and click on my stroke color and just put a line through it, and then I'm going to select my fill color. Now I want my fill color to be kind of a skin tone, so I'll double click on that, and my color picker menu comes up, and I'll pick a nice skin looking color on there. That looks alright for right now. Maybe a little bit more pink. There we go. Alright, and then I'll click OK, and my whole hand is filled in solid now. Now there's all kinds of different values in here. There's darker values and lighter values that we'd like to add. So to do that and to see those values, I'm going to go up here and I'm going to select my path by clicking on the arrow, and you can see now there's a square around it, and I can click anywhere in the middle of that, and then at the top of my screen my properties have changed. And up here under opacity I can pull that value down to about 16, and then go back and you can see what kind of effect that's had on my hand. You know, you can kind of still see it a little bit, but see these darker values right here? Now I want to go back and trace those. Now you may choose to create a new layer for this. You don't have to, but for this I'm going to, because I want to lock my layer. So to lock layer 2, I'm just going to click in there, and now it's locked. Now see, it won't let me draw on it, so I'm going to create a new layer, and that's the layer that I'm going to trace my shadows on. So I'll do just what I did with the hand, but this time I'm going to trace the shadow. So I'll go to my pen tool, and I'm going to select the stroke as being black. So I'll select the black color for that, and then I'll go over here, and my fill color I'll make non-existent, and then I'm going to start tracing out the darker value. So this will take me just a minute to do it, and I'll come right back to you when I've got this traced out. Alright, now I have went ahead and traced all the darker valued areas, or at least some of them. Now I want to pick a color to add to them to make it a darker value. So to do that, I need to select them, and since this layer 2 is locked, I can select all of those areas at the same time on layer 3 by going over to the black arrow at the top of the toolbar, and then I can just pull and grab all of those at one time. You can see they become highlighted. Now I can get rid of my stroke for all of them, and I can create a darker value of a skin tone. Let's see, that's about what I had before, so let's pick a darker value. Not sure how this is going to look, but maybe just a little darker value. We'll try it. If we don't like it, we can always change it. Now I'll click OK. Now all of those are changed. Now I want to bring back the opacity of my layer 2, the outline of the hand, so we can see what that looks like. To do that, I'm going to unlock that layer. Then I'm going to go down and select that path. And then up here at the top, I can bring the opacity back up to 100%, and we can see what we've got. So the colors aren't that great, but I can always change them. So to change them, I can go over here and just select whatever color I want, and I can actually change it relatively easy. Maybe a lighter value would be better. And there you go, it looks a little bit better. And on layer 3, let's say I wanted to change those values. Lock layer 2, and again select all layer 3. There we go. And I can change that too to be, I guess, more of a skin tone looking thing here. More of a skin tone. Let's see, what should we make it a little darker like that? Let's see how that looks. Okay, well, you can mess around with the colors a little bit. I hope this video tutorial has helped you a little bit with creating vector style illustrations using Adobe CS4.